Hello, this is a moment of great chaos in our life and great uncertainty and a lot of ugliness. We got here after many, many years of this, but now we are at the point, at the breaking point here in America. I'm talking from New York, in which African Americans are tired of the way they've been treated, of the racism that has always been there, but it was latent. It wasn't blatant. It wasn't clear. It was undercover. Now with this administration, it's like they felt white supremacists and KKK and all these ugly, ugly responses, and people have felt emboldened and they felt that they can now be what they've always been. They can be it openly. And with the killing, the murder of George Floyd, the rest of the world has seen what here has been happening all the time, but it wasn't shown. The rest of the world has seen it, and everybody in the world is saying, no, it's not possible, and it cannot go on like this any longer. I don't know if I'm gonna post this at all. I'm just want to share how I've been feeling during this time. I've been in my house in New York since March 10th. So it's a long time. We are in July now, middle of July, nearly. And being out just for groceries and things like that. The last 10 days, we have been out a little bit more, but the COVID hasn't hit me as much as the demonstrations of hate in this country. What is coming out is coming on the surface and is becoming very clear is that we are a divided country. We are a segregated country, a real segregated country, although officially not segregated. But there are two Americas, at least two Americas, the white privileged America and the non-white, non-privileged America. And the young people, the millennials, black and brown and white, they are not going for this situation anymore. This country is on the brink of a civil war. I'm fearing for all my friends. I'm fearing for everybody I know who's not white. I'm fearing for them. And I'm getting more and more angry myself, really angry. I had a few days of real panic attack because being Italian, I never experienced that kind of hate due only to a difference in the pigmentation of your skin. Racism is everywhere, but it's different. It's a racism that is based in Europe, is based on immigration, is based on economic conditions, and so on and so on. Here, racism is against the people who built this country. They don't come from outside. They've been brought here against their will, in chains, in the galleys of ships. They've died of sicknesses, of tortures during those trips. And those who made it over here are the strongest, mentally, physically, morally. And their descendants now are saying that enough is enough. And that's not just a sentence, is reality. And white people have to understand that if they don't want a war, a civil war, they have to realize that they cannot continue with their white privilege, which is based on nothing but suppression of other people. I'm not Black and I'm angry as hell. I don't know how I would be if I were Black and I'd lived all my life, felt on my skin the conditions that are happening now. So please, we are all human beings. There are no races in the world. There are ethnicities, cultural differences, but there is only one race, and that's the human race. It's time for the human race to get along. It's time for white people, and I'm not talking about all white people, because a lot of white people in America now are getting tired, and they are realizing that racism is alive and is thriving, and it's destroying this society, which is supposed to be based on the fact that everybody's welcome. This country is made out of all kinds of immigrants. Nobody is from here except the Native Americans who were killed. Nobody can say this is my country and not yours. It makes no sense. It's an untruth. So please, let's try to get along. Start to know Black and brown people, get to know them and realize what they've been doing for this country. The blood and tears that they shed to build this country for all of us. And they don't get the same opportunities that we have. This is, it's time. We are in 2020. There is no space for that narrow-mindedness, bigotry, none of that. Otherwise, this country will fail. It is failing now. We need to stop it. If everybody has better conditions, better quality of life, better financial situations, everybody is gonna gain from that. These are the principles, for example, in which the European Union has been built on. No country can pretend to be healthy by itself if only a part, a small part, a small portion of its population is thriving and the rest is in poverty or is not getting the same opportunities. It makes no sense. It doesn't make sense from the economic point of view, from the health point of view, from the cultural point of view. It doesn't make sense from any point of view. And then there are people who say, oh, but this question of police brutality and so on, we must not get rid of the police. I totally agree. We should not get rid of the police. We should get rid of the bad practices which are used in the police. We should get rid of the uncertainties and the two types of justices that exist in this country. We should get rid of a private prison industry that thrives on having as many people as possible in jail so they can make money. It's an industry. The prison in this country is the new slavery. The majority of people in prisons are Black and brown people. And brown people, Black people, make up only 13% of the population. It's not acceptable anymore. It's gonna be better for everybody if we start to realize that injustice, inequity are not gonna bring us anywhere anymore. It's not possible. Then we are talking about Black on Black crimes. Let's talk about that too. Okay, and what about white on white crimes? What about all those so-called terrorist attacks, those mass murderers? There is none of them who's Black. They're all white people who commit mass murders. And they kill anybody, Black or white. Gangs and bands in the, so what we call the ghettos, of course you get killings and you get violence if you don't give people opportunities. If people are going to school and the school system is organized so that the more affluent people get the better in education, so that they have opportunities that the people who live in the projects and so on, they don't get. It's not possible to continue in this way. It's unethical, is inhuman, and is not sustainable anymore. This country is going into pieces. And I'm fortunate because I can leave when I want. I can go back to Italy if I want. But it shouldn't be like that. And when I hear white people who tell some of my friends, go back to your country, what are you talking about? This is their country. We, white people, brought them here against their will. They've been here for generations. That's their country as much as your country. I have to stop here because I'm getting really angry. I don't know if I'm going to post it, but these are just my thoughts.